Welcome, Java Challenger. We are here in the Java Career Boost series. And I have here Rafael. He's doing the Challenger Developer course to achieve his career goals. And in this session, he's going to make questions to me so that he can achieve his career goals. So, how are you, Rafael?
I'm good, thank you. And you?
Very good. Thank you so much.
Okay, now I am in another step of my career, and I think I need to improve my hard skill. I am talk about the data structure and code challenging, and I would like you tell me and give tips about start training challenges to face in interview. Which platform do you suggest for me training or another tips?
So, the first thing I recommend you to learn with the structures and algorithms is to get a solid foundation on the concepts of algorithms and data structures. And you can achieve that in the Java Algorithms Interview Challenger book. I created this book a while ago where I explain all these concepts. So you can start from there. So you're going to master the basic data structures such as string, arrays, linked list, key value, hash map, graphs, queue, and stack. So you're going to learn this basic foundation. You're going to learn also the most important searching algorithms, big O notation. Then once you have this foundation with those basic data structures, then you're going to be more prepared to solve the algorithm's challenges. Because, for example, if you don't know what is a graph, how can you solve a graph algorithm? It's impossible. If you don't know the depth first search or the breadth first search algorithms, you won't know how to solve those problems as well. And if you don't know big O notation, it's going to be impossible to talk about the space complexity or time complexity. So the first thing, you have to get the foundation and learn about those before doing the algorithms. And about platforms, I recommend you, so it doesn't matter too much, but you can use LeetCode or HackerRank. And to pass the interviews, you don't need to solve the hard algorithms. If you solve the easy and the medium algorithms, that's more than enough. And the other detail about algorithms is that the more algorithms you solve, the more patterns your brain will absorb. And then if you get an algorithm that has a similar pattern, you're going to solve it much more quickly. The problem is if you get an algorithm that you never seen the pattern before, and then you're going to struggle. You're going to take a lot longer to solve this code challenge. But I assure you that if you did something similar before, and if you get another algorithm that has basically the same patterns, like you would change uh, maybe the structure of the code, but if the essence of the algorithm is the same, you're going to solve this algorithm a lot easier. So I recommend you first learn the foundation and also take notes, right? So I would also create a project on GitHub specifically for algorithms, and I would write, for example, if I'm learning about queue and stacks, let me write the code. Let me see what happens with a queue. Let me see what happens with a stack. Let me debug the code. Let's see what happens. If I'm going to learn the depth first search algorithm, let me write the code. So you write the code, you see what happens, you debug the code. And also the other important step is to use Pomodoro. While you're studying, use Pomodoro to track how much time you've been studying. And the other step is to be consistent. Because if you're not consistent, then it's difficult to advance your career, right? So you need to do the challenger planner, you need to plan your week because If you do the studies only 1 week, there won't be results for that. It's the same as if you go to the gym. If you go to the gym only 1 week, nothing will happen. But if you go to the gym for 1 year consistently, man, you change. You're gonna get strong. So it's the same thing with the learning. That's my suggestion to you. In the beginning, I know it's a bit annoying, the struggle, because you're going to get a lot of algorithms you never seen before, and you won't know the strategy to solve those algorithms. But I suggest you to try them, to solve them once you have the foundation solid in your mind, and then go for it, go for the practicing. And I would also try to simulate the interview process. I would time myself while I'm solving the algorithm. I would also explain my thought process because they want that in an interview. And you can use a rubber duck, you can use whatever. You talk to yourself explaining why you're doing the algorithm and put a timer. Then you simulate an interview process. And then once you do the interview, it's going to be much easier because you've done that so many times that it's going to be kind of automatic. The problem is if you do the interview without practicing, then you're basically practicing in the interview under pressure. But I
Exactly.
assure you that if you practice so many times that it gets automatic, the pressure in the interview will be nothing because you've done that thing so many times that uh, they might give you an algorithm that you find ridiculous. Let's say, oh my God, really? That easy thing? I'm gonna nail it
Exactly.
for sure.
Exactly.
So
Yes, I
yeah,
had
that's
this
why.
experience.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, and sometimes it's ridiculous. Sometimes because we didn't practice, if we get a ridiculous algorithm, we might fail in the interview. And that's really frustrating because we know we are capable to solve that thing. But because maybe we are nervous or because we didn't practice enough, then we fail in that ridiculous exercise. Then, man, that's not a good feeling.
Great, fantastic.
Any other question?
Okay. Yes, I have. What do you think about the Java certificate? What version of the Java certification should I get? Version 8, version 11,
The latest one,
and the last
obviously.
version?
Yeah, the latest one. If you can guess the latest one, is better. Well, in my opinion, it's worth it to get the Java certification because you're gonna learn the most important Java features more deeply. Of course, there will be maybe some things that you never use as a Java developer, but still to create better code, if you know Java very well, and if you have the Java certification, you're gonna definitely improve as a Java developer. So I know it takes effort, it takes some time as well. Like right now, I would say to you that it's not the right move for you right now because you need to pass in the interview, and the interview they won't ask you anything about Java. Well, they might ask you, but the questions they make to you about Java, you're gonna know. Your bottleneck is algorithms now, right? So I would say that it's worth it, definitely. The Java certification is very important because it will help you on your CV and it will also help you to write better code as a Java developer. And it will help you also to understand, to really master concepts of the Java language. So my answer to you is that it's worth it, but not now for you. Your objective is to pass in the interviews. It's not to get certification.
I would like to know, how do you have much time to make an article and mentee other people's, and of course you work in a company. How do you do to have time to do all things?
Yeah. So I go back to the basics. So one thing that I do is that I plan my week. So I know exactly what I need to do. Obviously, like in the long term, there might be weeks that you don't feel like planning the whole week. Like some days it's fine to plan only your day, right? And let's suppose you build a routine. Like if you know the routine that you must do, it's fine to not create the weekly plan, right? You don't need to create a different weekly plan every week. You can create something that it's a routine. You're gonna follow this process every week. That's the first step. I decide what I'm gonna do during the week. It's all planned most times. And I also use the Pomodoro technique to track the activities I'm doing. And I also have my why, right? So why I'm doing that. So I always keep that in mind. So for me, it's truly fulfilling to see a mentee of mine changing their lives and, to see them reaching another whole level in their careers, to see them breaking their limitations. So that's my why to keep mentoring Java developers. I know my impact is much bigger if I focus on that. So I keep the why in my mind. And I also use those tools. I use a tracking tool like Pomodoro. I use a weekly planner and I plan my week. And then I sacrifice a little bit of my free time, but it's not everything. It's not that I won't have time at all for me. I have time for me. I can still have my personal life. But if I organize everything and if I already decided the work I'm going to do, then I'm going to take action. I'm going to say, hey, that's what I need to do. Obviously, like many days in my journey, I depend on discipline. What do I mean by that? I mean that it's easy to have motivation, but if we don't develop discipline muscle, it's impossible to keep going because we are humans, right? There will be days that we're going to feel down. There are going to be days that we don't feel like to do anything. There will be days that we are fed up. There will be days that, that we won't feel like doing the things we decided to do. And then on those days are the days that we have to use our discipline muscle and do it, even if we don't feel like. And what it takes to change the game. Because really, motivation, anyone can have motivation. It's easy, very easy to have motivation and do the thing when you're motivated. The real work starts when you have to do the work without motivation, with only discipline. So that's something that I want to remind you, Rafael. There will be days that you won't feel like it studying algorithms. There will be days that you're gonna be fed up. There are gonna be days that you're gonna feel angry because you have to do those stupid algorithms. But it's the game, and you have to use your discipline. And that's a difficult thing, right? Because it's like being stronger than your emotions. To make your mind stronger than your emotion. Obviously, there
Yes.
will be days that you're gonna mess up. There are gonna be days that you might fall out the horse. But if you fall out the horse, you get back as soon as possible. Because
Perfect.
yeah, in life there will be adversities, there will be things happening, and the only thing that will keep you going is the discipline. So I wrote 4 books, and on those 4 books, if I didn't have discipline, I would never finish any of them. So because it's hard, you need to continue writing the book. And there was lots of days I didn't feel like writing the book. And what made me continue was discipline. There is a very nice quote from Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was, obviously everyone knows Mike Tyson. He was one of the biggest boxing champions. Obviously he had his issues, but anyway, he was a champion even with the issues he had in his career. But there is one quote that I find very interesting from him. And he says that discipline is to do what you hate, but you do it as you love it. And the other thing he says is that if you don't have discipline, you ain't nothing. You are nothing without discipline. So that's why I tell everyone, all of the challenger developers, to build your discipline muscle. Like I wasn't disciplined when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I wanted to only play video games. And I didn't want to do my homework because I wasn't disciplined at all. Usually I would wait for the last day to do my homework. And I didn't know there was a way to improve my discipline muscle. Like after many years, I learned that this was possible to be developed. And I started developing that. And then the game changes, right? Because then you notice that with discipline and patience, you can really achieve anything you want. Discipline, patience, and focus, you can achieve anything you want. Obviously, there is also your psychology, your personal development, because you have to have those three elements, and you can't give up. And to not give up, you have to have mental toughness, which is something it's not so easy to develop. Take some time. But I guarantee you that if you have discipline, you can do it. And a big secret is that on the days I don't feel like
Discipline.
it, I do the work. So even if my emotions say, oh my God, no, not again.
I went procrastinating now a little, but
Yes,
I
but you
did
make an effort.
go and do it.
Yeah. I usually, when I feel like that, I say, hey, let's do it anyway. I just start the Pomodoro and start doing it. And then once you force yourself to do it, paradoxically, you feel more motivated. Your motivation starts getting back. It's interesting because your motivation comes after you took the action. It's not before. Before you feel, oh no, no way, I don't want to do that. But then if you do the opposite, if you take the action first, your motivation will go back.
Perfect.
And you must fight your emotions. Your mind has to be stronger.
Perfect. Fantastic. I have one more questions
Yeah.
about my profile. I know that here I will not achieve the senior position or even the middle position because my English
The medium
was not.
position you can. The medium position you can achieve. Yes.
Yes, but I work as a software developer since 2014. It's almost 10 years. Do you think it's good I put in my about on LinkedIn that I have been working as a software developer since 2014? That when company saw this, it could be bad for me to achieve junior position or middle position because the long time
No, I
of
think that's fine.
experience.
That's fine. Actually, they want highly skilled developers like you. So you must highlight how many years you have as a software engineer. So you have 10 years, you put there on your about section, right in the first line, that you have 10 years of experience. It's fine because they want highly skilled developer like you, but they also understand that your English, no, to develop your English will take some time. And for that reason, like they won't hire you as a senior developer. Like they might, but I think this is very rare. They will usually hire you as an intermediate developer. And then as you grow in your English and as you get your visa, as you get experience here, then you're stoppable in your career.
I took this from my about on LinkedIn. I put it only when the company asked for my CV. This is in my CV, not in my about on LinkedIn. What do you think?
So I would change like that you've been working in software development since I would say that you have more than 10 years of experience as a software engineer using Java and microservices. I would mention microservices as well, cloud computing. I would mention the cloud technologies you've been working with. And I would also add some highlights of your career. So if you did something that was impactful, you put it on your career highlights in the about section. Because then, like, and if you can use numbers, if you can use a way to, make it quantitative, it's better. because then you can show numbers. You can show numbers to whatever company, yeah, wants to hire
The
you.
companies like numbers.
Yes, they like numbers. Yeah, like you are there for being productive and uh to generate numbers in a certain way. Yes, so they want results. Yes, a company wants results. Company wants someone who will go there and will solve the problems.
Perfect. Okay, that's right. I will make some changes in this about. Okay, the last one, I would like you could give me some feedback. For example, I have realized that my camera is not good resolution. I think I will buy a new camera because this camera is from my laptop. What do you think by the resolution? Because I don't know, maybe it can be a problem because the image is not good for people see me.
Yeah, I think it's a good investment because most of the interviews, I think it's online. And definitely, if you have a good camera, you pass a better impression. That's, yeah.
Yes,
So I wouldn't invest too much money in that as well, considering the situation where you want to focus on your algorithm studies. But still, I think it's worth it. If you're doing interviews from home, then yes. Otherwise, if you're going to the office to do the interviews, then it doesn't matter too much.
yes, yes, of course. I will buy a can to put my laptop. I think my image will be better. And another feedback about my
Posture.
camera. Now I this direction because I am in front of laptop now in the center of the screen. What do you think? It's okay?
It looks good. Yeah, it looks very good. You are centralized. I can see your face clearly. It's good. It's good. You pass
Okay.
a good impression to me. Yes.
I think when I buy a new camera, I will put more up.
Yes.
Maybe
Yes.
I will appear in the screen like you
Yeah.
from the up. Yes.
It's better if you appear,
Okay.
if your camera is in a higher position, because if the camera is looking to you from down, it kind of gives me an impression that you are a bit arrogant. And it's not only you, everyone. Like you can make the test. If you put a camera and you look from, if it's recording you like from a lower position, it seems that you are like snob or arrogant. But it's not
Mm,
only you, it's everyone.
like this.
Yes, that's like
No.
like looking,
Yes,
what's up?
yes.
What's up?
I am
Yeah,
above.
yeah, yeah. It's like
Yeah.
I'm above you. So
Yes, yeah, yeah, makes sense.
that's just to be conscious perception we have. So if you definitely if you have the camera like in a higher position, then it's fine. Then you don't
Yes,
have this impression.
good. Because probably I will plug the camera in maybe in the top of laptop. Good. Another thing, sometimes I move me a lot. Like ah, ah. You realize this? No.
You didn't know. In this call, you were
No?
fine.
Or maybe I pass my hand in my face.
You didn't.
Do you
You
think it's
didn't.
okay?
No, no, no. In this call, you didn't. Maybe when you get nervous, maybe you might do that. And the only thing you can do is to be aware that you're doing that and stop doing that because that will definitely pass the wrong impression. Like if am interviewing you and you are always like that, doing and moving like very
Yes, Rosa.
anxiously and doing that, like, oh my God, like, ah,
Oh.
ah. Then,
Oh.
yeah, yeah, you pass
Yes, yes.
a bad impression, definitely. If you feel nervous and if you feel, the strong willing
Drink a
to
coffee.
drink a coffee, yeah, drink a
Yeah.
coffee, drink some water, Maybe
Beer,
water is even better. Beer, yeah. While in the interview, yeah, drink the beer.
because you don't know what
Yeah,
has inside
yeah, yeah.
Guinness. Yes,
Guinness.
good,
Oh,
good.
yeah, definitely. If you notice that you're moving too much, you
And
try
my
to
head,
control yourself. Yeah, but in the
sometimes my
interview,
head's
in our conversation, it was fine. You didn't show
yeah,
yourself as someone who is very nervous. No, it was fine.
perfect, perfect. And mainly think the communication.
Communication.
I know absolutely that I need improve more and more my communication, but in this time, what do you think about my communication? The dictation, the expression. I think my English is bad, but I
It's not.
work hard a lot.
Yes, yes. Your English is okay. Obviously,
Really?
your English is okay to do an interview. Obviously,
Yeah.
you are improving, right? There is always something to improve, and you could communicate clearly. I could understand everything you told me. You still lack some vocabulary, and this is something that you definitely have to work on. There are some grammar errors you are making as well. Some words you are kind of translating from Portuguese to English. That's my impression. I might be wrong here. And my suggestion to you is to change absolutely everything you have in Portuguese to English. So my other suggestion is to listen to English podcasts, audiobooks, everything in English, 100%. Why? Because that's the only way to overcome those limitations you still have. Like you are making some grammar mistakes, and it's fine. I also make some grammar mistakes. My English is not perfect, but the more you listen to someone speaking in English, the more your subconscious mind will take control.
Yes.
And if you notice the babies, they don't know about grammar. And
Yes.
the only way they have to speak is through their subconscious mind. And remember that your subconscious mind is the most powerful. Like it's
I do.
80% of the brain power.
I do this all the time. Listen when I go to bus stop. I
Perfect.
listen all the time, and I am reading one book per week. I pick it in the library of the school. Of course,
Amazing.
this is a short book,
Yes.
like a summary, and I am work hard to improve this. But do you think it's okay to start in job here, and
Yeah, with your
it's
English
enough
level, it's enough.
to
Yeah, it's
it's
enough.
enough to work?
As long as you make it clear to them that you are improving your English, that you're doing the courses, you're
Of
listening
course.
to English audiobooks. Yeah, you have to tell them that you are working on your English because they will know, okay, Rafael is starting in our working for us, but he's also working on his English skills. And I'm pretty sure he's gonna become better. So
Because sometimes I don't know if it's good to say the interviewer that I study English because I think that he could have prejudice.
you don't need to tell them right away, only if they ask,
Yes,
right? So obviously you communicate normally. You tell them you can tell them that you listen to English audiobooks, that you study technical subjects in English. You can tell them anything that show them your focus on improving your English. You don't need to say that, oh, I'm doing a course specifically. You can say indirectly anything that will cause the impression to them that you are focusing on your English skills to improve that. That's enough. But yeah, like the other thing about learning English is that, well, when we were babies, when we didn't know how to speak, we learned how to speak only by listening, right? So the listening is the most powerful way to improve on your speaking skills. Obviously, you have to also speak as you're listening. You have to speak and practicing, have to practice your speaking as well. But the more you listen, the more your subconscious mind will be used to the English language. And then it's going to be easier. The only thing you have to keep in mind is that by doing this exercise, it's not overnight that your English skills will improve. So you have to do it consistently. Always, always, always listen to something in English.
I do this all the time, every day,
Perfect.
constantly.
So
Listening and reading all the time.
perfect. Your English skills, your English level will improve very quickly by following this, by being consistent on that.
Okay, I think that's it
Awesome.
for
Thank you so
today.
much. Thank you so much, Rafael, for your questions. Very good questions for any Java developer who wants to overcome their career challenges and grow in their careers. Java Challenger, I'm pretty much sure that the insights of this video will help you in your career. And I hope you take advantage of those suggestions. And Rafael, thank you so much again for being here. And let's keep in touch so that I know more about your career progress. And I also ask you to participate in our Challenger developer meetings because they are crucial for your career growth.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Rafael, and I'll see you very soon.
See you.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.